OG Barber here, owner of the Locker Room Barbershop and official barber of the Dallas Mavericks. Today I'll be showing you how to do a medium skin fade. Hope you all enjoy. So today I'll be showing you how to do a medium skin fade. First step in any fade is to create your bald line. I start mine at the corner of the temple, making sure I keep my line as neat as possible. It helps when it comes to fading out that bottom line. Let's finish cleaning up this bottom part here, and we'll move on to the next step. Once you have the sides all cleaned up and the top knocked down to the desired length, it's time to start on your fade. On this haircut, I'm starting with my Oster's fast feeds. I start with the lever all the way open and I take that up a little more than ½ an inch, again keeping my line as neat as possible. I lower the lever in small increments about a quarter of the way each time I close it. And as I start to fade, I turn the clippers to the side. And if you watch, I'm mostly using the bottom half of the blade. The top half is angled so that it doesn't touch the head. It helps to not make other lines while fading out the bottom line. For the next step, I'll be using my #1 guard on my black senior 5-star clippers. I start with the lever closed and make another line about 3/4 of an inch wide. Try to flick your wrist when you get to the width you'd like. It helps not to leave a hard line at the top. After that line is in, I come back with my Andis Masters and I open the lever as wide as it can go. The line may not come all the way out, so you may have to lower the lever a notch or two. And just like the previous steps, I use the bottom half of my blade to do the fading. And each time you lower the lever on your clippers, you're going to want to go closer to the bottom line of the section you're working on. And as long as you flick your wrist at the end of each stroke, you won't create any more lines in that section. Okay, so here I go ahead and put my 1.5 guard on my Wahl clippers, and I lower the lever about a third of the way, and I start to debulk. Every few strokes you'll see me comb the hair. That's because when you get into the longer hair of the fade, the hair tends to move more with each stroke. So I go ahead and comb that. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit so we can get to the next step. So on this step, I'm going to go ahead and take my number 1 guard from my Masters. I'm going to close it about halfway, and we're just going to continue to debulk right here. I'm going to continue to lower the lever and work closer towards the bottom line of the section. And then once we get the lever lowered all the way down, that's when we're going to go ahead and start on the last part of the fade. To finish blending out the bottom line here, I'm going to take my Masters with my lever open, and I'm going to just lightly hit that bottom line right there. And it's all about repetition here. You might have to go over it a few times, hit it in different angles, but just do not take it up too high, otherwise you'll create a new line. That's why it's so important here to flick your wrist at the end of each stroke. You might lower the lever just a touch, just to hit those little dark spots, but overall, if you keep your fade level, then you won't have to worry about coming back and hitting those little spots. I'm going to finish this off here, then I'm going to come back and show you guys how to finish the top of the blend, then we'll get started on the edge up. So last thing we're going to do here is we're going to put the 1 guard back on the Masters. We're going to open the lever. I'm going to lightly hit that top line right there. Then I'm going to flip the clippers around. I'm going to go with the grain, and I'm going to lower the lever about 3/4 of the way. It's going to lighten up that very top part. Make sure everything blends in nice. It's time to start on the edge up now, which I think is the most important part of a haircut. I think it can either make or it can break you. So what I do is I start my edge up in the middle of the forehead. And as you can see, each stroke that I make on the edge up, I kind of go into that first line. So I make that first line, and each one of my strokes that I do kind of goes back to that line. So I'll press down and move it back towards the line that I just started. once we get to the corners there, I move the corner as far into the side edge up as I want the side to be, because that's what's going to give it a crisp box. Now it's important to try to keep the edge up as close to the natural hairline as possible. Pushing the edge up back can ruin a haircut. Now here I'll just go back and kind of touch up that very bottom line with my edgers just to make sure that it's flush blend. After I put my edge up line where I want it, I'll come back with my razor just to give it a little more definition. It's always best to finish off all lines with a razor. Makes it much more clean, much more defined. So, as you guys can tell, I only showed half of the head here in this haircut, because rule of thumb in cutting hair is what you do to one side, you do to the other. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all again real soon.